Which was more a disappointing loss to you, the Niners or the Eagles?
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go the Eagles only because I thought the Niners actually got screwed. On the huge third down on that last drive for the Cleveland Browns, they had a clear tackle, uh, clear hit. It wasn't a tackle; it was a hit, and they called it helmet to helmet. It was nowhere near helmet to helmet. I mean, some of these helmet to helmet calls are ridiculous, especially in college football. But the Browns got away with one huge one, and the Niners were beat up. Debo left the game. Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and they missed a field goal in the end. So I thought in a way that the Browns got very lucky. Um, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. They lost playing without Sauce Gardner on the other side. Their squad was pretty much healthy. I know Lane Johnson had some ankle issues, but other than that, the Eagles should have won that game. Um, I'm gonna go with the Eagles being a little more disappointing.
Um, I'll go next. All right, so I'm going with the same person, the same team, the Eagles. Just for the simple fact that they lost to the Jets. The Jets aren't even supposed to be in contention right now for wins against quality teams because they're still the same Jets from last year. They're absolutely basically the same roster. Aaron Rodgers is there. Well, was supposed to be there this year. That was supposed to bolster their roster. Without him there, they still have Wilson at the helm, and that that alone should have had them losing. Supposedly great Eagles defense, but they didn't. So them losing to the Jets is almost is borderline disgusting to me. And they're like I said, they almost dropped. I almost dropped them out of my top five because of that. But like I said, for the same reason, like I said, San Francisco, those things did happen. Everything had to fall into place for the Browns to beat Frisco, and they still had a chance to win. If it wasn't for a missed field goal at the end, they would have won. So, I mean, I really think that the Eagles, that was a disgusting loss to the Jets, man. So, with them, they're the most disappointing.
No, I totally disagree with y'all on this one. Okay, Zach Wilson's the top five quarterback. Well, top five drafted quarterback. He went in top five.
Oh boy, I
They
thought you said he's a
okay.
top five quarterback.
PJ Walker wasn't even drafted. He wasn't even a drafted quarterback. And then they had no Deshaun Watson, no Nick Chubb. They literally called Kareem Hunt off the couch the other week, and they played a guy named Ford. I mean, at the end of the day, we can talk about the Niners injuries. They beat you with PJ Walker, a guy that was not drafted. That's just what the facts was. I know there's bad calls in every game. We're not gonna blame one bad call on the Niners losing because of one bad call. It might have been a bad call, but at the end of the day, they had 4 quarters to make it right. If they were so dominating and so much the best team in football, you cannot lose to PJ Walker and company. So for me, it's clear the Jets have been competing in every single game. I know the Browns have as well. That's not taking that away from the Browns. But I'm just saying, if you're asking me, Zach Wilson had expectations coming out of college. PJ Walker wasn't even drafted, and he just beat the 49ers. The 49ers were the number one ranked team on most of our power rankings, so I'm holding them to a higher standard. They lost to the Browns, so for me, they're more of a disappointment. Your stuff is
The
muted,
timing
Chris.
of the call, the timing of the call is what makes it different, X.
Dog, calls are bad all the time in the NFL. They didn't lose the game because of that one call.
I mean, it
Okay.
contributed to the loss.
They contributed to
Uh.
their own loss.
All right. My the most disappointing team is the San Francisco 49ers. I can't believe this, man. I praised you. I gave you all the props in the world last week, and then you just go and just want to fall flat. Come back to reality. I can't believe I was backing you up, Brock Purdy. I can't believe this, man. He looked like Mac Jones,
Wow.
Desmond Ritter. This was horrible. We're talking about a quarterback with we were always hyping up about his QBR, the number one QBR in the NFL, and obviously that wasn't the case. He went 12 for 27, 125 yards, one touchdown, one interception, a 56 quarterback rating, man. Obviously the weapons was not involved. Brandon Ayuk only had 4 receptions for 76 yards. Christian McCaffrey was not effective at all, not even the ground. But you got to give the Browns credit though, 'cause the Browns are they allow the least yards in the NFL, so you got to give them credit. But then again, they had PJ Walker for crying out loud, man. They were nearly 10-point underdogs in this game. Everybody picked the Giants. I mean, picked the Niners except Mike, and they showed us who they are. And the Niners are not immortal. I believe the Niners are the most
Let me ask all y'all a question.
obviously the Niners gave it their all last week, and obviously they got brought back to reality and they got humbled, and they got to go back to the drawing board now. So I think the Niners are the most disappointing teams of the undefeated teams that I saw.
Go ahead,
I
Steve.
didn't expect that at all.
Let me ask a question. All right. So, do we think which one of those do we think was an anomaly? Do we think that the 49ers losing to the Browns, do we think that would happen again, or do we think that the Jets beating the Eagles is more likely?
You
I
think?
think the Jets and the Eagles are more
Yeah,
likely.
I think Jets beating the
Um,
Eagles more likely.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the 49ers, that was an anomaly. Everything had to happen for them to lose to the Browns. Like all those things had to fall into place for
So
the
why
Browns
would
to
you
be
be
able to
more
win.
disappointed in the? Why would you say that if the Eagles can lose to the Jets on a any given Sunday basis? That should shock you then.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I held the Eagles in higher regard than that. I held the Eagles in higher regard. I think that the Jets are way worse than the Browns. And I know you keep talking about P.J. Walker and Zach Wilson. P.J. Walker showed us who he was. He did pretty good last year, and some time for Carolina.
Come on,
Zach
man.
Wilson has never been good.
Carolina had the number one pick,
Whether
bro.
he's been, huh?
Carolina had the number one pick, bro. Don't do that.
No,
we not
okay,
doing
so
that.
okay,
We not doing that. We not doing that.
Carolina had the number one pick. I'm talking about his play. His play. He played. So you think Zach Wilson played better than him last year?
I think Zach Wilson is better than him. I would rather
No,
Zach Wilson than PJ Walker.
I can't
Oh,
say.
come
I
on,
think they're
see.
both trash. I think they're both garbage. I wouldn't want neither one of them. I'd rather tank. But but
no,
I'm
Zach
And you
saying
still
Wilson.
got, and the Jets have Brees Hall, who's the first round pick or early second. I think Brees Hall was the first, or it's the early second round. They beat him with Jerome Ford. They do went like in the fifth or sixth round. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I understand both defenses are really good. The Jets defense is good. The Browns defense is good. I get all that, but I just hold the Niners in high regard because I'm looking at the Niners and I'm saying we praised them for how they
Right.
played last week. We gave all the credit to Purdy and said how he's the MVP candidate. And I was like, hell no, you got Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's the best player on that team. He should get the praise. But they got people that was saying Purdy was the man. George Kittle had a monster game. They just beat the Cowboys. on national TV, you got to come out and play better than the way you did. The Eagles, nobody was really talking about them like being one of those teams that was like could go undefeated. We knew the Eagles could lose the game. That's why I'm not shocked that they lost.
But to the Jets.
Yeah, but they lost to the Browns with no Deshaun Watson.
Bruh. I don't know, man. That's just me. Like I said, I held the Eagles in higher regard than that. To go out and lose to the hapless Jets, I couldn't see it happening, and they did. And to me, they act like I said. I think if they played them again, that could actually happen again. I think that this was just an anomaly by the 49ers, and I could see them coming right back and blowing that same team out if they had to play them again this week. You know, so I
So
don't.
you don't think the Browns could beat them with Deshaun Watson and company?
No.
You crazy as hell. The Browns could beat them if they had Deshaun Watson.
No, bro. No, they couldn't. But they had Deshaun Watson all last year, bro. Well, not all last year, but you know, when they had Deshaun Watson all this year, and they still suck. Deshaun Watson is in the Deshaun Watson that he used to be, bro. We gotta go and hang that up, bro. That Deshaun Watson is still in the Houston massage parlor.
Wow. Shout out to Houston, man. I was out there this week.